So everybody, this is Mike Randolph. I'm in Tampa, Florida today. As you know, I'm with the Center for Nonprofit and Community Development, and we work with neighborhood groups and people that are doing things, specifically nonprofits all over the country. Last week was in DC, the week before that was in New York and Philly. We're back in Tampa because we want to introduce some, I say, ordinary people that are doing amazing things, extraordinary things. That's a lot of pain in our community, a lot of violence, a lot of killing. And oftentimes people that are trying to tell the story about the killing are not really close up and personal with it. Today, I'm going to introduce you to a gentleman that's up close and personal with the violence that's going on. But more than that, he didn't talk about it. He's doing something about it. So we call him Jay. Jay, do a couple things for me. Let people know who you are, the name of your organization, why your organization exists, and talk about your personal story related to that. And then get your email together and tell people where they can send some donations and some funding to your organization, because you're in front of a national audience now.
Okay.
So nobody can sell your organization like you.
Absolutely. Well, good evening, everybody. How y'all doing? I'm Johnny Johnson, and they call me Jay Johnson. I'm co-founder of the nonprofit organization, Rise Up for Peace. Rise Up for Peace was created out of hurt and pain. It was formulated from two people that lost their kids to the senseless gun violence here in our community and all over the country. My son was murdered January 1st, 2017.
Jay, can I just stop you for 1 second? Because people from around the country are listening. Would you tell them where your community is?
Okay, I'm in Hillsborough County, Tampa, Florida.
Okay, good.
And my son was murdered January 1st, 2017. As we all know, that's when you get that phone call, that's devastating move. For me personal, I started a personal nonprofit was called People Over Money, and it was aimed at with my son case legislator, Stand Your Ground. And so I started from January 1st, going out the legislature, which we all know is very difficult and very uphill battle. Soon after, a childhood child got murdered a couple years later, 2 years ago to be exact, Monday. And she came to me and she like, I see you trying to do things in the community. I want to do something, and I'm hurting as well, because we had nowhere to turn to. The victim advocate program here in Hillsborough County is overran. They don't have enough employees to assist the people with the hurt and pain and the relentless gun killing that we have on a consistent basis. So we didn't have no one to turn to support. So when she came to me, we ended up forming this group, Rise Up for Peace, to be a community organization, first and foremost, to be there to listen to the victims that go through the senseless gun violence. So our organization is made up of parents that lost their kids to senseless gun violence in the community. And the two things we say we wanted to do was the 2 C's is commit to it and stay consistently at it, and advocating for the sense.
Hey, I can't hear you. Hello? Hello? Johnny, you went out on me.
Michael, you get me now?
There you go. All right, good. Continue, man. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Go ahead, continue.
Yeah, and we advocate go around to keep it in the forefront and to remind people the hurt and pain that families are going through with the senseless gun violence, and especially we advocate to raise money and do things so that we can also offer reward money to give family closures. So we're trying to also work with the Tampa Police Department and the city of Tampa to work diligently to resolve some of the cold cases that we have in the city of Tampa to give family closure, because that also creates a whole nother avenue of hurt and pain, not knowing who killed your loved one, if they still out here, or they walking by, are you interacting with them. So we come out every month and try to do things to bring awareness to the senseless gun violence. We work closely with the neighborhood association, uh, like I said, Moms Demand Action. So we're partnering up with other organizations and like-minded organizations to bring back peace and unity in our community.
Can you share with us, Jay, what it felt like that night when you got that call, so people can understand the pain? Because I think what happens a lot of people see what's going on TV, but they don't see the face behind the pain, the real pain. I know the pain because I lost my brother, and I know the pain my mother saw when she was a mother. So share with us about that pain, that night that you received that call, and how it changed the rest of your life.
Well, actually, I was here in Tampa. I was actually at a Buccaneers game. It was January 1st, 2017. I'm sitting in the club seat on the east side of Tampa Stadium, which I do often. Avid fan of football, love football. So that's something I did. I reached out and just go to the game. And I'm sitting there watching the game, second quarter, and I get a phone call. And I don't answer the phone because, again, it's New Year's. I told the family where I was gonna be at. Everyone knew where I was gonna be at, so I didn't even pay the phone any attention. I have a Apple Watch, so another phone call came in. So this time, I particularly just looked down at my watch, and you know that the message would come up on your watch. So I look down at my watch and I see a message from my other son, and he tells me, "Dad, Jaquan has been shot." Uh, I look at the text, and of course, as a parent, it just it freezes you. So I'm stuck, but I can't move, and I continue to watch the football game. Another two plays. Um, after that, I turn to my fiance at the time and tell her, "Hey, we have to leave the game. It's the second quarter." So I leave the football game. I head to the hospital, which is Brandon Regional Hospital, where my son was at. Prior to getting to the destination at the hospital, his mom was there and my mom was there, and not knowing at the time, but they had been there approximately like an hour with no one at the hospital getting them any information what's going on with my son whatsoever. Is he alive? Is he dead? Where was he shot? We when I get there, and like I say, this like an hour after he had been shot, I reached the hospital, and I'm asking, what's up, what's wrong with him? Where was he shot? Is he okay? What's going on? And they reply to me, the hospital wouldn't give them any information. So me at this point, it kind of made me a little upset because, again, as a parent, I got the text message, they got the call, they all at hospital. You want to know what's wrong with your child. So I immediately go to the triage desk and ask, let them know that, hey, I'm Jaquan's father. I'm his legal guardian. I'm here to find out what's wrong with my child. And again, they replied to me is, I'll get someone to talk to you. And at the time, no one. So I was like, no, I wouldn't accept that. So I kind of got a little assertive with my message, like, hey, my mom been here about an hour and they don't know anything what's going on. So as a parent and a caregiver for my child, want to know what's going on. How is he? And again, the part why he wouldn't give me any information. So I said, well, I'm not leaving this desk. You need to call security. You need to get everybody up here because at this point, they've been here an hour. I'm just getting here and we don't know what's wrong with my child. All we know is he's been shot. So at that point, he makes a phone call to the back, which in the emergency part where they brought him in, and let him know, hey, the kid's father up here, he's very uptight, and he's not going nowhere. So something got to happen. So at that point, they walks me to the back to the emergency part and puts me in another little waiting area and stuff. Lo and behold, I walked right past my son being worked on, them, the nurses and stuff, trying to save his life, not knowing that it was my child. But looking at it as when you're walking through the hospital, you're looking like, dang, they really working on this person, trying to save him. I see the doctor come out with, gloves and blood running down the arms and all the 9 yards. I'm like, they really trying to, work on this person. And again, not knowing it's my child. And they put me in a little waiting room that the emergency room come in when you come in with the ambulance. If you was a parent or someone riding, they got a little waiting room in the back. So they put me in that waiting room, and I sat there for like 5 minutes, and I was like, whoa, I get back up, they got a little nursing desk back there. So I walk up to the nurse desk and I ask again, hey, I was brought back here, I'm here. I got a phone call from my son, he was shot. I want to know what's going on. And again, at the same time, I'm looking at my son being worked on, and the whole while not knowing that it's actually him, that all the room and the nurses are running in and out, everybody, the commotion is all over my son. And again, I didn't know at the time. So that's the only thing that has my attention. The nurses running in and out this one particular room, and the triage desk, and just like one other patient that can move around and walk that was going to get discharged in a minute. So I sit back down again. So another 5 minutes pass by, and I'm getting restless. So I'm agitated. So I jump up and I reenact what I did at the front desk. I say, well, I'm not coming from this desk. I see the police officer, I see the detectives. So I say, if I make a scene, somebody will come give me some answers. So I talk a little loud, and I was like, hey, I'm here. Y'all done did this was going on. I just need to know, is any of you guys a parent? And they're like, yes. I said, if you got a phone call and your child was said to be shot, would you actually want to know? And like, yes. I said, that's the only reason I'm standing up here. Please just tell me what's wrong with my child, right? So at this point, they send a doctor over and say, someone finna come talk to you in like a minute. So I go back to this room again. In like 2 minutes, the doctor and a detective walk over. And I say, finally, and I'm sitting down. And I'm like, okay, my son is Jaquan Johnson. I got a phone call stating that he was shot. I'm his father, I'm his legal guardian, and I want to know where did he get shot and what's going on. And the worst news a parent would ever want to hear was he didn't make it. That's how I was told. They didn't say Jaquan, they didn't say nothing. They just said he didn't make it. So I said, who? Someone with my son? What happened? Who didn't make it? Like, your son didn't make it. And, as a parent, again, that's when it resonated that second time. I went to the floor of that waiting room for about, it seemed like forever, but I know it was only probably about 30 seconds. And I kind of screamed, and I like, wow. I got up, sat in the chair, and at this point, the detectives and everyone came over, and they were trying to, talk to me. And I was like, I don't want to hear it. I just want to go. And after a few minutes, because they locked me in the bike due to my way I was acting, and a few minutes later, I got a chance to leave out of the emergency room and get back to the front of the hospital to relay that message, not only to his mother, his other siblings, and my mother. In the same time that I walk up to the front and relay this message to my parent and his parent, and I told them, because they didn't give them any information. They had at this time been there for probably an hour and a half or so or longer. So when I get back up to the front to relay that information to them, and when I tell my mom, she immediately passed out. She was admitted to the Brandon Hospital. Also, his mom passed out in the middle of the parking lot and was admitted to the hospital. And, and my journey had been ever since then to try to bring some resolution to this situation with losing my son.
That pain that you're going through is so real. And that's why I put you on, because so many people talk about it, but they don't understand that real pain. that purpose, that mission that you have in life to make sure that no other parent has to go through what you go through. What you did bring out, and I didn't know, the fact that information getting to the loved ones, why it takes so long, that you got to
Right.
almost act a fool just to get that done. So yeah, I think you brought that out to the public because that's something we don't know. And I think you brought that out. Not only do you have to deal with the not knowing, but folks can give you little information, let you know what's going on.
Yeah.
So,
And
look, man, this is crazy, but that's only part of it because people need to understand you wasn't always a nice guy. You from the streets.
no,
That's you from
no,
the project. So share with us where you from.
having well, I'm from the city of Tampa, been here several generations, over and over again. My entire family is from Central Park, which is the projects was adjacent to downtown Tampa, where they gentrification and tore it down and rebuilt
So
and
this whole
what have you.
So you straight out the project, right?
Absolutely.
All right, go ahead, man. Go ahead, because I had to certify you, man, so people know you're speaking from the streets. All right?
Yeah,
Go
yeah,
ahead, man.
man. Nothing changed until something changes, man. And my life was never the same once I got that phone call. Like you say, I'm not ashamed of nothing I did. I think that's gives me a plus and what we call street credibility.
There you go.
To be able to be a continuity to the streets and to legitimacy and bringing a different resource to the community besides the resources that I was bringing prior to getting that phone call. So I still see myself valuable and useful to the community because I was just standing right next to the guys that's still standing out there now, standing right next to the people that's doing this. Have very related. I still have childhood friends still out there, family. So I feel I'm very valuable, and that's why it was so easy to say, hey, when we started Rise Up for Peace, nothing has to change, nothing but the product that I bring to people, and that's the difference. That's why I'm sitting here partnering up with you, Michael, and partnering up with other organizations because now I get to bring resources and things to my community to help bring them out of those ways. Like you were saying, we with our organization, we're trying to partner up with VOTEC schools, apprenticeship with jobs and stuff, so that we're taking the guns out their hands, yes, but we're putting something in that they can use a lifetime or trade. We're in the state of Florida, it's hot, heat and air conditioning, vehicles, automotive mechanics, cars is always breaking down. Building home, we're in a booming building. Tampa is one of the highest buildings in the country, that the rate that we're building houses and stuff. So, I'm still blessed to be on the outside looking in and had the experience of the inside looking out. And marrying those two
Jay, you're doing a great job, man. You are. See, Jay, in our country, there are two types of people. One type of people, they know what's wrong and they talk about it. They look at TV and say that's a shame. Mm-hmm. It's another group of people that actually grind and do the work to make a change. Now, you could have gone to a dark place when you lost your son and you become right bitter and say, I don't want to deal with nobody and I don't care about nobody else, but you didn't. You use that pain, man, to bring light into other people's life. And I want to take my hat off to you because it's not easy to do what you do, but you're changing a whole lot of life. So that raise up in peace, that really means raise up in peace. I'm sorry, Donnie, what was you about to say? I'm sorry,
yes,
Jay. That's what you like me to say.
Yeah, Jay, it's cool. Yeah, man, I'm plain old Jay, man. But you know what, Michael? I lied to you if I say I didn't initially hit that dark spot. I hit that dark spot so bad, and it's a true story. It's in my book I'm writing, my memoir, is that when I left the hospital. I shared that information with my mother and my his mother, and my fiance was out there, and my brother and my oldest son, and I left. So they was worried about me. I left. I was already in that dark spot when I left the hospital. Of course, the detectives knew who I was because I gave up my ID and stuff. And and I headed to the spot where he was shot at. At the time, he was shot. They had it when I made it to the place where he was shot at. It was taped off like a murder scene, of course. And honestly, I had a gun on me. I went up under the tape to do damage. Then at the time, I had a don't care attitude, is whatever. And I was that's why I'm so passionate about what I'm doing, because I'm so grateful that I had an opportunity to think and not head first down that dark hole at that moment. So having a bless and a detective to, somewhat meet me and say, well, hey, who are you? I said, well, my son was shot here. He's no longer with us. I want to know who shot him. I'm here. And the detective words with me, well, Mr. Johnson, we have the people who done it. But if you came here to do something, I will let you see everybody. This house is completely empty. I don't think anyone is ever coming back here. And I stood there, and that was that moment I needed, because I'm sitting here with you guys today, man, speaking about it. And and I knew from then, no matter what avenue I exhausted, what I wanted the most, it wasn't gonna give it to me. And I wanted my son back. And I even during the going to court and stuff, I prayed and I plundered over it so much. I was even plundered over because, again, you got to know where I'm from. You have to know my neighborhood in which I grew up in. I had a lot of people angry at me because I didn't retaliate in a initial way I wanted to. And then after that, I stopped a lot of retaliation by telling people, just hold on, let's not do nothing. So I had to deal with the street wrath of, man, what's wrong with you? You saw your son was murdered. We'll take care of this here. And again, having an opportunity to think and go down and exhaust every avenue. And again, no matter what I found myself doing, I didn't have what I wanted the most, and that was my son back. And so
I can identify on what you're saying. I remember a time back in Baltimore when I was in a fight. The guy beat me up, and in the street you got to retaliate. Of course, I had a gun too, but at some point when I was walking up to this guy to kill him, it's like God came in because he had that chosen few that he stopped you right at that point. Because about street creds. You got to take care of your business. But because of that, because of God in me, I'm actually, like you, going back and telling other people, just before you get to that step to pull that trigger, you don't have to. You see, because I've been there, so I'm not talking, and you've been there, so we're not talking about what we saw and what we know, man.
No,
and
this
it's
is
people
true
like
story.
us, man, that really make that change. But like I say, I promise this: I want to work with you and your partner in terms of writing grants, in terms of bringing in money. But the other thing I want to do, Johnny, as well, is to provide CEO training to both you and your partner as well, to take your organization to the next level. Because as much as you do, you can't do as much as you do without the money necessary. And it takes I'm not talking about 100,000, 200,000. We're talking about hundreds of thousands of dollars that needs to be brought to the table. So that's why we want to work with you and teach you how to bring in that money, and then to give you the CEO training. And then, as we promised, at least 3 young people, we want to teach how to start a business. So folks, even in the hood, can see there is opportunity, because Johnny, you and I know when you go in the streets, they don't see the opportunity we see. What they see every day is hustling, and everything like that. That is their world. So unless we bring something to the table, some resource, some tangible resource, like, start your own business, that's not going to solve the problem. So, man, I appreciate you. Now, here's the important question. What is the email that people can send money to help run your organization?
Well, they can go to riseupforpeace.com, and on our website there's a place on there you can donate as well.
So hold on. See, they up and running already, folks. All you gotta do is go to the site now and give them money. Go ahead, Jay, continue on. And folks will be coming to that site.
Yes, you can go to riseupforpeace.com.
Would you spell it out?
RISE, Rise Up UP, for FOR, for and peace, PEACE, Rise Up for Peace, and it's .com. And you can go there. We also have links on the City of Tampa Police Department as well. So we trying to also, we just had a new format. We had a meeting Tuesday with the chief of police and all the majors of every district down at the Tampa Police Department headquarters. So our homepage that you see now is going to be revamped in the next couple of days, because now we're getting a lot of partnership, a lot of help and support that we have been, as a grassroots organization, trying to get off the ground and be effective in the community. Now we're getting the support from some of the powers that be to move forward and be effective in the community. So right now that's up there. So if it changes, it doesn't much, it's not going to change. We're just going to doing it more professional, because me and my founder, Patricia Brown, we will sell food, we will buy stuff to generate money to put on our initially events every month. So for the first, this is our second year going into Rise Up for Peace. I've been out advocating since 2017. She's been out since 2020. And so, like I say, this is our second year. We did all 2021 and we're on 2022 now with the organization Rise Up for Peace. So Rise Up for Peace has been in existence for a little over a year, and it moved very fast. I'm grateful that we're getting the attention and stuff, because we believe that the senseless gun violence is a human rights issue. The safety and security of people is at danger when you can't go places. You have drive-by. Your safety and security is being tampered with. So we believe it's a human rights issue, as well as a plague within our inner city amongst us people. So we just advocating. We don't look for accolades. We're not looking for our name to be on there. We just want, basically, we want change. We want to work with the police department and try to resolve some of the cases. Not only just my son, I have 3 first cousins was murdered to the senseless violence. My son and one of my cousins, we have that taken care of, but we have 2 unsolved murders in my family. So I'm working diligent on behalf of my aunts as well. And when we do our events, and when some families don't come out, we stand in the gap for each and every family that lost a loved one. The reason we can do that because we are parents ourselves. So, and we know how difficult it is once you experience something of that magnitude to stand up and speak and bring your feelings and wear it on the sleeve and share your sorrows with people, and not feel that they're going to be trampled over, or feel that nothing's going to be done about it. So most people just stay quiet and stay in the back and don't say anything, even though they're sitting there with a lot of hurt and pain. The families that we done had opportunity to speak with it and engage with, and the stories that are shared, is heart-wrenching. And we're at Rise Up for Peace is trying to put an end to that, because we need a group oriented, just like they do for AAU, Alcohol Anonymous. They have treatment centers for opioid and drug abuse. We don't have anything for the hurt and pain that our community is dealing with, and nowhere to go. So that's where Rise Up for Peace step in at. Being a person you can pick up the phone and have someone and not know what you experience, but have an understanding of what you're going through, and to sit there and do something simple, not talk, just listen. The quieter you become, the more you can hear. Just give them an ear so that they can vent, talk to you, and they have faith in you, knowing that, you know, first of all, the best thing about our organization is our integrity, that we genuine have care and empathy for the people that we encounter that experience the same thing we did. So we listen attentive to them. It helps us grow and learn more, and it also give them an outlet to talk about something that they not always comfortable talking about. And that's something that I've learned within a year and a half in the organization and creating it, that a lot of people need someone to talk to that understand them, and not tell them, oh, I know what you're going through because they lost a parent or something. But it's different when you're
So Jay, like I
yeah.
started off and I'm gonna end it. Ordinary people doing extraordinary things. America, meet Jay, a man that's on a mission. I'm going to title this particular thing when I put on Facebook, A Black Man Journey to Stop the Pain. Thank you very much. I appreciate you taking your time. I do want to get some dates so we can start the training for the grant writing class and then the CEO granting class to take you to the next level. Because here's what's most important. Sometimes when we start something, nobody believes in us. But you can
Right,
notice if you keep going like you did, people will come.
right.
Persistence is what it's all about. And you only been around for less than 2 years, but yet to
Yeah,
get the attention necessary. So you should give yourself applause as well as your partner applause. Now, I know
yes,
she did lose her son, is that correct?
yes. Vontae Brown, and the founder of Rise Up for Peace is Patricia Brown, and I'm the co-founder. And like I say, it's hurt and pain. We share it, and it makes it even worse because I've been around her son his entire life. I grew up around Patricia older kids their entire life. She grew up with my mom, so like it's part of the village is being broke down, and it's a lot of hurt and pain within inside our community. And like we say, it just need a little TLC and a little empathy, understanding that no matter how old the kid is, whether it was 4-year-old Sonny Bill that we lost here in the city of Tampa to senseless gun violence, or whether it's my son was 17, my cousin, he was 43 when he lost his life. We have to realize that's still someone's child. You have a parent somewhere that's hurt and devastated by losing a child. So we can't forget that it's families that connected to each and every one of these murders, and someone is affected by each and every one of these murders. And and again, as an organization, we're trying to stand in the gap and be that person that you can call and rely on to be there, just to listen, and at the same time, offer resources that can help you. You're right, because when you get that phone call, life doesn't stop. My son was murdered on the 1st. At the 5th, my bills was late. But at that time, do you think I was worrying about a light bill or a water bill or a mortgage bill or car insurance? So those things right there are devastating. And what Rise Up for Peace is trying to do is be able to be in the gap when a family go through that, offer some type of assistance to that family so that it ease that burden of pain. Because again, nothing stops. The earth doesn't stop spinning once you receive that devastating news. So, I mean, our organization is trying to be very instrumental, very value, and be one part of the solution, and to offer help to the families in the community that's going through this here. And
Again, I'm sorry, go ahead.
and
You say something else?
one other thing before you let me go, yes, sir. I'm just be remiss not to say I founded Patricia Brown was presented with the 2021 Tampa Police Department Citizen of the Year
All
award.
right. All right.
Right, and I was presented with the Martin Luther King 54th anniversary of Martin Luther King Award for community activists and being productive in the community by Allen Temple Church as well. So I was their 2021 recipient of the Martin Luther King Award, and I'll be receiving that on Monday at Allen Temple Church.
That's awesome, man. Because
So
I just cannot overemphasize the fact that ordinary people are doing extraordinary things. See, not only are you trying to help the victims that go through this pain, but you're also trying to stop them from even doing the pain by going to the very people that are doing. That's the youth and the young. So your task is twofold. First, to advocate for those that are going through the pain, that have lost some child, but at the same time, reaching back and saying, let's stop this senseless killing so no other child can be taken away. So look, I'm so glad. I hope I didn't take too much time
No,
out of
sir.
your day. You got to
No, sir.
talking, and I said, yeah, I'm gonna let him just talk because everything he's saying is so genuine. And I know that when the folks see this on Facebook, LinkedIn, and my other social media, they also is going to see you like I see you as a parent that decided to not talk about it, but to be about it. So look, I want to thank you again, man. I really appreciate you taking the time. I'll be back in contact with you and related to the grant class, the CEO training, because the CEO training teaches how to do a business plan, how to do a subscription plan. It teaches all those things you need necessary. So when you go for the money, the people know you got the credentials to manage the money. So thank you, man.
Thank you so much,
last words before we out of here?
Just our motto at Rise Up for Peace is one voice, one sound, put the guns down.
I couldn't have ended better. Thank you.
Yes.